All right. So now let's jump into today. Now, for those of us that are new to AI, if you don't mind, let's do something together. It's very simple. Don't overthink it. Google is your friend, right? So let me share my screen real quick. And for those of us that are savvy, please be gracious to us. Day one is introduction, okay? So don't feel crazy. Don't call me later and say, hey, dude, I paid for a class and I want to know cyber all in and out. And you're just telling me how to use AI, blah, blah, blah. Chill pill, okay? This is our first class. We're trying to just get ourselves into that mind of what to expect and how to be efficient ultimately. All right. So let's quickly jump in real quick. So for those of us that are familiar with AI, okay, so if you're not, no big deal. Just go to OpenAI, okay, and you will see a screen like this. Let me be sure I'm sharing my screen. Um, and honestly, man, sure, like I said, some of us are very savvy, not because we are smarter than you, but it's just, when you put too much time into playing around tools, you just get good at it, really. I built so many scripts, programs, blah, blah, blah. And the beautiful thing is not hard to do. It's not like I'm telling you something that, oh, there's nothing smart about me doing it. Nothing. It's just when you put time, sometimes you just get better at it. That's all. So if you've never used this, please do me a favor. You can log in with your Gmail. For my people, um, Amadu, Sarah, two Sarahs, Tolu, Delayo, Mariam, please do me a favor. Can we all log on to AI real quick? Once you log on, give us thumbs up real quick. If you don't mind, give us thumbs up. So what I want us to do is this. For everybody on this call, I want us to do it together and I'll put us in a group. Go back to your group we'll do it for like 10 minutes. All I want us to do is this. I know we've talked about the best practices for our network. Let's take it a little bit further now and tell me your story. Let me give my own example, right? I can say, and you might say, well, is this example going to make somebody come and hack me? Maybe not, but I'm not going to give you all the details, but you just give me your truth, right, of your environment. Okay, I can say, you know, what I can say for my new folks, sometimes you want to say act like a cyber strategist, all right, just for a start. And don't worry, sometimes your spelling might not be right. You can spell check it. Act like cyber strategist. Recommend best practices to protect my home network. I stay in a suburb with a lot of tech entrepreneurs in Collin County, multiple ISP providers, and few traffic within my home. I maybe once a month. So you could just put some general context around the essence, right? So that you can give it some much more truth to what you want it to do, right? So let me just give this as an example. Okay, all right. Let's say you have guests come over once a month. Somebody requests my network password. My clinic is use internet a lot, blah blah. So you can just okay, let's see, and let's see what it comes up with. Now, I could as well just give it a generic, you know. So look at what it says: Home network protection plan. Set up a high security router foundation. Use a high quality router. Always make sure your firmware is updated. Firmware is just what the vendor updates in terms of their product, right? Change default password, which we all talked about earlier on, you know. So You can see some recommendation it's giving me. It knows I have teenagers. It's also saying, okay, I mean, security awareness for those teenagers. Teach cyber hygiene to those teenagers, right? Parental controls on the router. So it's giving me some more context because I specified I had teenagers, right? So now they're giving more. I also said I had guests that come in. You remember some of you said we should use guest Wi-Fi earlier on. I think the last said we should do that. So you can see here saying, okay, guest Wi-Fi only. Look, we should have a specific guest Wi-Fi only also to manage. Okay, additional defense. We can see here firewall activation, blah blah blah. So it's going specific into what we feel is important. It also went into a summary for me, the ones that are critical. It kind of broke it down for me in that level, which is in terms of importance, right? So I think this is really cool in general. Now, this is for it even tell me, that okay, you can have a drill for your family. Look at this simulation of drill. Set up a fake phishing email challenge. Teach your teenagers and guess what to do if there's a suspicious pop or link, and we reward the winner with a prize. So this is cool. For those of us that have never used ChatGPT, do me a favor, just log in and play with this. Now, for those of us that have savvy, you can also use a tool called Cloudy, right? It's equally a good one. The reason I like Cloudy and Perplexity is that if you're into a little bit of academic research, you want to get into details, citation references, sometimes this is a good one that gets you some much more detail. So let me run this for example. The same prompt. All right, we're using the same prompt. Let's see what it breaks down. It gives us references. It gives us, look at what it's saying here, right? Open network strategy, blah, blah, blah. They are very similar in nature, but they are quite popular out there. You can see there's, it gives us some similar, feedback. I like one called Perplexity a lot. Let me log on to my Perplexity account. For you that want to do much more deep research, you can always use this as an easy one to kind of play. So come here. It will give you some very good citations. Let's go to, all right, let's try it again. ChatGPT allows you to do deep research now. It has a button now called research. So you can actually click on it to give you um, much more detailed research, almost like Perplexity now. But you can see everybody, you can see it gets into my county, talks about tech savvy neighborhood, and it's talking about how we can break it down. And it has citations here, you know, that it is referencing to. So anyway, if you've never used Perplexity or Cloudy, those are very good one. I know we can use Gemini also. Some of you have said we've used Gemini. Let me see Gemini. Gemini AI is Google version. So whatever is your preference, use it. Definitely ChatGPT would be top on my list personally. I guess because I've used it a lot. Then Perplexity I like a lot too. But you can see it's preference at the end of the day. Use the one that you feel comfortable and that you think is effective to what you're looking for. I would recommend ChatGPT for sure, personally, because I use it a lot. Then Perplexity is also very good. So for my savvy guys and ladies, I will challenge you, play with those other ones. Because, okay, somebody is cloudy and public. Yes, they are equally they are free. I think they also have the paid version like GPT also. So they are free. So, I mean, play with them because if you are into research stuff, especially if you need reference for documentation, I would say use Perplexity so that you can cite reference in case the audience wants you to expatiate. You can easily cite the source of the research. Okay, cool. Now let's do me a favor, everybody. I will put us back in our group for the next 10 minutes, and I want us to just play around AI and tell me if there is any recommendation that you see um, that stands out to you outside of what we've asked in the past. And the reason is to give everybody opportunity to kind of play around using those tools. All right. Again, today's our honeymoon. We're just learning basics and just getting our folks familiar with basic of AI. All right, cool. Let's do that.